Hi everyone, this is CricketSong from Lunar Wisdom, and today's video is going to be discussing hatred as an entity. Some time ago, I came across a video on Facebook which featured Lady Gaga giving a talk or speech at what appeared to be the U.S. Conference of Mayors. She was sitting next to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and in this video, which looked to be snippets edited together from like a longer speech, she said, quote, "Please do not forget, hatred or evil, whatever you call it, it's intelligent, it's smart, and it's invisible." Lady Gaga continued to describe this hatred or evil, and she compared it to an invisible snake with an agenda to divide its enemy, which is humanity, into groups in order to instigate hatred amongst us so that we could be attacked and ultimately taken down. Now, while I usually find myself in agreement with Lady Gaga, and on some level I resonate with the greater message here in her speech, which was unifying humanity through kindness being the best way for us to achieve things, I found this particular colorful metaphor quite disturbing. While her message is to promote kindness, I felt that this particular metaphor used fear. My husband, when I spoke to him about it, suggested that it was an act of fear-mongering, and unfortunately I found myself in agreement. I felt that in this particular metaphor, Lady Gaga used fear to get her point across. So then this led me down to the thought is, what exactly is fear-mongering? Well, when I looked it up in the Merriam-Webster online dictionary, I was first redirected to fear-monger and then to scaremonger, which was defined as one inclined to raise or incite alarms, especially needlessly. And if you look at Wikipedia, which we all hate to love, it defined it as the spreading of frightening and exaggerated rumors of an impending danger, or the habit or tactic of purposefully and needlessly arousing public fear about a particular issue. Now, this can take the form of psychological manipulation that uses fear-based tactics or scare tactics, including exaggeration and usually repetition to influence the public in order to achieve a desired outcome. It is a tactic used to scare or put fear in those viewing a campaign or advertisement or speech, and to influence the outcome based on fear. Now, while the result that Lady Gaga was encouraging her audience towards, which is kindness, which is applaudable, the way in which she was doing so in this speech by eliciting fear from her audience members was not kindness. I mean, the image of not only an invisible snake, but an intelligent invisible snake slithering around each of us without our knowledge to incite us with a desire to hate one another is rather frightening. And it's the exact same image that many Christian religions use for Satan. I mean, if you're familiar with the book of Genesis in the Bible, I'm certainly you know the story from the 3rd chapter, where there is an account of a serpent or a snake tempting Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And there, the snake is a representation of Satan, an intelligent entity focused on destroying humanity. I mean, was this the imagery that Lady Gaga intended to imply when she chose her own metaphor for her speech? It's possible, but being that she is a highly intelligent individual, I don't only think it's possible, I think it's certain that she did that. But then, did she do that to motivate change? Because it's still using that same image of fear. Now, many Christian faiths are known to use fear. Fear of punishment for sins, fear of displeasing God, fear of going to hell. And being that I grew up with that fear, I know what kind of damage that can cause. That guilt that is usually associated with that fear is very difficult to overcome. And while fear may be a motivator, I'm not convinced it is the greatest one to use when trying to promote kindness. And it sort of saddens me to see that an individual as influential as Lady Gaga to a large audience who already feel ostracized use fear and do what the Christian churches have done to you for years when there are other ways to motivate audiences towards kindness. So I'm curious as to what your thoughts are. Much love. Blessed be.